Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking through how to think through stoichiometry. So maybe you've heard your teacher use this term in a chemistry or even a physical science class. We're going to talk through how to use balanced chemical equations, moles from one thing into another. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. But first I want to start with an analogy here, which we can all understand, talking about bicycles and bicycle parts. So if we looked at this scenario right here, we can almost say, well, these are the parts, and this is the sum of the parts over here. Here's the bicycle. So we've got a frame, two wheels, a handlebar, and a couple pedals. There's obviously more to bicycles than that, but if we were to summarize this, maybe we could do something like this. And that would be actually similar to a chemical equation, you could say. Here are the parts, the things that we are putting together. In chemistry terms, we would call those the reactants. And over here are the things that we end up with. Actually, there's only one thing in this case, but these are called the products if we have more than one. And this exactly applies to ideas in chemistry. So let's go ahead and think about a basic problem that could be given to us. If we had a problem that said, convert 2 bikes into number of wheels. Now, I know you can do that in your own head, but what I'm going to do is show you how to think through and do the exact same thing in a more difficult chemistry problem so you can see what I'm talking about. First of all, the very first thing that's given to you in terms of we're going to convert out of or work with is what's going to be called typically the given. So we're going to say our given is 2 bikes and we need to convert into an unknown number of wheels. How we're going to do that is first we're going to write what's called an equivalency. We know that 1 bike is equal to 2 wheels. How do we know that? Well, there's an implied 1 in this chemical equation or this mechanical equation right here. And over here we've got 2 in front of the W. So 2 wheels is equivalent to 1 bike. Now it's important to note that we know that a bike is not made up entirely of 2 wheels. That's not the point. The point is if we were going to convert from bicycles and the wheels, we would need a 1 to 2 relationship. Alright, so this numerator for this equation right here is the same equivalency as you see down below here. And if we were to divide both sides by 1 bike, what that would do would be to leave us with an equation, a fraction on the right hand side, and would leave us with a fraction that's equivalent to 1. So we could say 1 is equal to 2 wheels over 1 bike. And that's important to note because what we're going to do is we're going to take our given information, multiply it by a fraction that's equal to 1 with the same units down below as what we start with. That means you can cancel out these units down below here and we're left with units of wheels. If you needed to do multiple conversions here, you could do that as well. Alright, so that's the analogy. Let's go ahead and take that and apply that in a real chemical equation. So this problem says 5 moles of acetylene is converted to carbon dioxide gas through the chemical reaction above. How many moles of CO2 are left at the end of the reaction? So the first thing we want to do is think about what our given is. Our given is going to be 5 moles of acetylene, C2H2, and think about what our equivalency needs to be. Well, our equivalency needs to be into moles of CO2. So I have 2 moles of C2H2 is equal to 4 moles of CO2. How did I get the 2 and the 4? We have these coefficients out in front that'll tell us that. So it's like saying 2 parts of this thing is equal to 4 parts of this thing over here. Well, if you just substitute moles instead of parts, it still holds true, and so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start with our given, start the problem by writing the given out, and then multiply it by an equivalency over here, and you end up with an answer in terms of moles. And it really is that easy. As long as you're careful with what you're doing, you're multiplying by equivalencies as fractions equal to 1. As long as you're careful, you're going to be absolutely fine and be able to convert from moles of one thing into moles of another. And then you can build on all of the other ideas that we've talked about so far with moles. I can put a link in the upper right so you can think about how this can connect with other ideas in chemistry. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any comments down below, please let me know, and I hope you all have a great day. Take care.